I actually want to start at the very end of our source material with this exact quote. Honor your parents, earn Allah's pleasure. We're starting here because this quote is really the anchor for our whole explainer today. It's the ultimate thesis, right? The text is drawing a literal, direct line between a simple, worldly action, honoring your parents, and the highest possible spiritual reward, which is earning Allah's pleasure. But the really fascinating question here is, how exactly does a basic, everyday act translate into something of that magnitude? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down step by step.
All right, Section 1, A Tale of True Respect. To understand that bridge between the worldly and the spiritual, we really have to look at the narrative structure. If you track the timeline of the source script, it moves fast. First 5 seconds, they're just happily walking together. By second 10, the mother grows tired. At second 15, the boy takes her bags. By second 22, the mother makes a heartfelt prayer, a dua. And from second 22 to 30, we see the resulting spiritual success. In literally half a minute, we go from a casual daily walk to a moment of massive spiritual significance. It's a great reminder that these profound moral tasks, they don't always come with thunder and lightning. They happen in those little 5-second windows of our everyday routines.
Listen to this opening narration from the source text, which drops right in those first 5 seconds. A young boy always treated his mother with love and respect. The absolutely crucial word here is always. The text is very deliberately showing us that the boy's upcoming actions aren't just some random, out-of-the-blue thing. They're built on a solid, consistent foundation of love. So when we ask why children should respect their parents, the source is suggesting it's not really about one-off acts of heroism. It's about a continuous baseline of behavior. He always treated her this way. And that continuous respect is what sets the stage for everything that follows.
Moving on to Section 2, Taking on the Burden. This sequence right here shows us that true respect is an active process. It requires awareness, quick initiative, and physical effort. Step 1. The text notes the mother became too tired to carry her bags. This implies the boy had to actually be observant enough to notice she was struggling in the first place. Step 2. He acts, and the source uses a very specific phrase here, without hesitation. Step 3. He carries the burden. He takes the bag so she can just focus on walking. Think about the physical reality of this scene for a second. The source text grounds this huge spiritual lesson in very heavy, very real groceries. We have an elderly mother who is physically exhausted. The boy's response is immediate. But notice the exact wording used in the source. The boy carried everything for her. Everything. He doesn't just grab one bag to be nice. He literally takes on the entire burden so she can walk comfortably. This literal, physical transfer of weight from the mother to the son is what honor actually looks like in practice. He is physically lightening her load. Which brings us to Section 3, the power of dua. Now, you know these physical actions don't just exist in a vacuum, right? They echo straight into the spiritual realm. The source text defines dua for us using some absolutely beautiful visual and narrative cues. We're told his mother makes a heartfelt dua for her son, but look at the visuals the source pairs with this moment. She smiles, she raises her hands, and this really soft sunlight shines down. It paints this incredible picture of absolute warmth, divine approval, and deep maternal gratitude. That physical act of respect directly unlocked this glowing, incredibly powerful prayer. It is so fascinating to see how the source juxtaposes the physical effort against the spiritual reward. On the one hand, you have the completely mundane physical elements, an exhausted elderly mother, heavy grocery bags, the sheer effort of just walking down the street. But on the other side, because of his respect, you get this grand, ethereal imagery, a heartfelt dua, soft sunlight shining, and eventually a beautiful mosque at sunset. It's literal cause and effect. You put in the sweaty, physical work of honoring your parents, and the universe essentially responds with literal and spiritual light. And that leads perfectly into Section 4, where true success begins. If there is literally one thing you take away from this explainer today, let it be this powerful line from the final narration. Success begins with their prayers. When we dig into why children should respect their parents, the source text gives us a remarkably pragmatic answer. Because your success fundamentally relies on it. It doesn't say success is merely helped by their prayers. It says success begins with their prayers. It is the starting line. The boy's physical respect triggered the mother's dua, and that dua becomes the absolute engine for his future success.
Now for Section 5, Earning the Ultimate Pleasure.
Let's look at the ultimate consequence shown in the final sequence. We see the boy praying, and then the whole scene fades to this stunning, beautiful mosque at sunset. Showing him praying visually confirms that his respect for his mother is completely intertwined with his faith. And then the narration delivers the ultimate takeaway. Allah loves those who honor their parents. The source inextricably links the way you treat your mother and father on a random, exhausting trip to the grocery store with earning the love of Allah. The worldly act is entirely fused with spiritual devotion. There's no separating them. And that brings us right to the final, direct command of the text. Respect your mother and father. It's concise, it's actionable, and it perfectly wraps up the entire narrative arc we've covered today. We saw the foundation of continuous love, the physical mechanics of taking on a burden without hesitation, the radiant power of a mother's dua, and the ultimate spiritual success it brings. The text leaves absolutely no room for ambiguity here. This is the mandate.